All right, good morning, sixth grade social studies. Today is Tuesday, November 3rd, and you are at the computer station. So, we've been talking about monotheistic religions this week. And to begin in this station, what you're going to do is go ahead and start on the fill in the blank using the word bank above to fill in the blanks in the passage. Go ahead and pause the video to do this now. All right, welcome back. So the question we're going to be answering today is, what do Jewish people believe? As we started talking about Judaism yesterday, today will be our second day on Judaism. To begin, we have two review questions. The first question says, what does it mean to be monotheistic? The second question says, who started monotheism according to the Torah? Pause the video to answer these review questions now. All right, welcome back. Your directions are to read and annotate as I read along, pausing the video to answer the questions. For a long time, Hebrews had been living peacefully in their promised land, Israel. But eventually many Hebrews had to move away from Israel because there was a famine or a shortage of food. So these people left Israel and headed to Egypt. Life was not good in Egypt. The Pharaoh needed people to build his pyramids, and he put the Hebrews to work for little pay. But their population grew and the Hebrews became strong. The Hebrews were so strong, the Pharaoh was scared that they might take over Egypt. To stop this from happening, the Pharaoh made all the Hebrews in Egypt slaves. Question 1 asks, what was the push factor that pushed Hebrews out of the promised land, Israel? And number 2 asks, how did the Egyptian Pharaoh try to control the Hebrews? Pause the video to answer these questions now. According to the Torah, a leader named Moses was born a Hebrew in Egypt. Jewish and Christian people believe that Moses was ordered by God to lead his people out of Egypt. Moses demanded that the Pharaoh release all the Hebrews. The Pharaoh refused. Soon afterward, 10 plagues struck Egypt, sent by God. The plagues were terrible things that happened to Egyptians, such as the deaths of livestock, rivers turned to blood, and all kinds of gross bugs appearing everywhere. The worst plague of all was the death of the oldest child in every Egyptian household. The plagues frightened the Pharaoh so much that he let the Hebrews leave Egypt and go back to Israel, with Moses leading them. To the Hebrews, the release from slavery proved that God was watching over them. The story of the Hebrews leaving Egypt is called the Exodus. Question 3 asks, what is the Exodus? Pause the video to answer this now. Here is the story of what happened, taken from the book of Exodus of the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. This story is also in the Torah because remember, the Old Testament of the Bible and the Torah are the same. This is one major similarity between Jews and Christians. But soon after their rescue from Egypt, the Israelites complained to Moses, saying, "You brought us out into the wilderness to die. We have no water and we have no food." Showing great mercy, the Lord responded to their doubt by bringing them water. And he also said, "Watch, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and you shall go out every morning and gather it." He did, and they called it manna. Soon this nation camped around a mountain in the desert of Sinai. Suddenly there was thunder and lightning on the mountain, and out of a thick cloud the sound of a trumpet blew so loud that all the people trembled. Then the Lord, cloaked in fire, descended on the mountain, and the whole mountain shuddered. The Lord called Moses up to the top of the mountain and gave him the 10 Commandments. And the Lord spoke these words to Moses: I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. And as the Lord spoke, he wrote the 10 Commandments on tablets of stone. He gave his standard of holiness through these laws. Tomorrow, when we discuss Christianity, we're going to look more closely at the 10 Commandments, because the 10 Commandments are another similarity between Judaism and Christianity, as we continue to compare and contrast in both ELA and social studies this week.